SOC metrics and objectives task. This task is part of the SOC Level 1 learning path or event. That's the cold start on TryHackMe. Explore key metrics driving SOC effectiveness and discover ways to improve them. Task number 1, introduction. As with any other department, the efficiency of the SOC team can be measured using different indicators and metrics. This room explores the most common evaluation approaches like MTDR and MTTR and describes both methods to improve the metrics and potential consequences of ignoring them. Learning objectives discover the concepts of SLA, MTTD, MTTA, and MTTR. Understand the importance of the false positive rate. Learn why and how to improve the metrics of an L1 analyst. Practice with managing SOC teams' performance metrics. Prerequisites, everything that we've done so far. Understand key alert properties like severity or verdict. Know the difference between in-house and managed SOC. Answer the question below. Let's begin. Task number 2, core metrics. To begin with, let's recall the main goal of a SOC: to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the organization's digital assets. The SOC team performance is purposed by developing, receiving, and triaging alerts. L1 analyst role is in the process. In this process is to reliably report true positives to the higher level, to L2. This leads us to the first 4 metrics. Alert count, AC, which total counts of alerts received. Overall load of SOC analyst. False positive rate, FPR, false positive divided by total alerts, level of noise in the alerts. Alert escalation rate, AER, escalate divided by total alerts, experience of L1 analysts, and then threat detection rate. TDR, detected threats divided by total threats, reliability of the SOC team. Alerts count. Imagine starting your shift and seeing 80 unresolved alerts in the queue. That's definitely overwhelming and prone to missing real threats hiding behind a noise spam. On the other hand, considering a whole week without any alerts sounds better at first glance, but also concerning, since a too low count of alerts may indicate an issue in the SIEM or lack of visibility, leading to undetected breaches. The ideal metric values depends on company size, but in general 5 to 30 alerts per day per L1 analyst is a good metric. False positive rate. If 75 out of 80 alerts, 94% were confirmed to be false positives, like system noise or typical IT activities, that's a bad sign for your team. With more noise, analysts tend to become less vigilant and more likely to miss the threat and treat all alerts just like yet another spam. A false positive rate of 0 is an unachievable ideal, but 80% of higher is a serious problem, usually fixed by a tool and detection rules tuning, often called false positive remediation. Alert escalation rate. L2 analysts rely on L1 to filter out the noise and escalate only the actionable threatening alerts. At the same time as L1, you don't want to be overconfident and triage alerts you do not fully understand without a senior support. The alert escalation rate comes in handy to evaluate how experienced and independent L1 analysts are and how often they decide to escalate the alert. It is usually aimed to be below 50% or even better, below 20%. Threat detection rate. Imagine that out of 6 attacks of 2025, your SOC team detected and prevented your 4 attacks, missed the 5th because of the broken detection rule, and the 6th because one of the L1 analysts misclassified the breach as false positive. The resulting metric is TDR. 4 divided by 6 is a 67% rate, and this is a very bad result. The threat detection rate should always be at 100%, since every missed threat can have devastating consequences such as ransomware infection and data exfiltration. Answer the question below. Is 0 alerts for 1 month a good sign for your SOC team? Absolutely not. Sorry. Nay, it's absolutely not. What is What is the false positive rate if only 10 out of 50 alerts appear to be real threats? 50 minus 10, which are false positives, 40 divided by 50, 0.8, meaning that it's 80%. Task number 3, triage matrix. Next, remember that an alert by itself will not stop the breach, and it is important to timely receive the alert, triage it, and respond to the attack before the attacker achieves their goal. The requirements to ensure a quick detection and remediation of the threat are commonly grouped into a service level agreement, SLA, a document signed between the internal SOC team and its company management, or by the management, SOC provider MSSP, and its customers. The agreement usually requires quick threat detection measured by MTTD, timely alert acknowledgement by L1 analyst measured by MTTA, and finally prompt response to the threat like isolating the device or securing the breach account measured by MTTR. So from the first event, some malicious event occurs, 5 minutes pass, the event appears in the SIM, plus 5 minutes, L1 analyst starts to alert the alert triage. And also from the start, it starts also the internal process, the escalation and other workflow, and then SOC fully mitigates the breach. Reference table. Note that different teams might have different definitions or formulas for the SOC metrics depending on what they want to measure. For this and for the following task, please use the illustration above and the reference table below to answer the questions. Metric SOC team availability 24/7, working schedule of the SOC team, often Monday, Friday, 8 to 5 or 24/7 mode. Mean to time detection, MTTD 5 minutes, average time between the attack and the detection by SOC tools. Mean time to acknowledge, MTTA 10 minutes, average time for L1 analyst to start triage of the new alert. And then mean time to respond, MTTR 60 minutes, average time to take by SOC to actually stop the breach from spreading. Answer the questions below. Imagine a scenario where the SOC team receives a critical alert on Saturday. If the team works 8 to 5, on which day of the week will they acknowledge the alert? Or on Saturday? I mean Monday. Because it works 8 to 5, on which day of the week? Go for Saturday. Right? Definitely on Monday. Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, right? 24/7 mode, then that would be Saturday. Imagine a scenario where an employee was lured into running data stealer malware. The SOC team receives the connection to Redline Stealer C2 alert after 20 minutes. One of L1 analysts on shift moved the alert to in progress 10 minutes later. After 6 minutes, the alert was escalated to L2, who spends 35 minutes cleaning the malware. Provide the MTTD, MTTA, and MTTR via comma as your answer. Average time the SOC actually stopped the breach. So that's from the beginning to the end. Let's see, so to this we add 41 because we add 6. So that's 41. And plus 10 minutes later, 51. Right, so MTTD, average time between the attack and its detection by SOC tools. It's 12. Average time when I start triaging, that's 10 again, 12, 10, and then you have to add everything for MTTR because this is the average time to actually stop the breach from beginning to end. Task number 4, improving metrics. Now that you know a lot about different metrics, why would it matter to you as an L1 analyst? First, you should understand that metrics were built to make the SOC more efficient and therefore to make the attackers far less successful. Second, the metrics are often used to evaluate your performance, and good results lead to career growth and a raise to more senior positions like L2 analyst. So how can you improve the metrics? We have a reference table Well, false positive rates to be over 80%. Your team receives too much noise in the alert. Try to exclude trusted activities like system updates from your EDR or SIEM detection rule. Consider automating alert triage for most common alerts using SOAR or common scripts. Mean time to detect over 30 minutes. Your team detects a threat with a high delay. Try to contact SOC engineers to make the detection rule run faster or with a higher rate. Check if SIEM logs are collected in real time without a 10-minute delay. Mean time to acknowledge over 30 minutes, MTTA. L1 analyst starts alert triage with a high delay. Try to ensure the analysts are notified in real time when a new alert appears. Try to evenly distribute alerts in the queue between the analysts on shifts. And then mean time to respond, MTTR over 4 min or 4 hours. SOC team can stop the breach in time. Try to, as L1, make everything possible to quickly escalate the threat to L2. Ensure your team has documented what to do during different attack scenarios. Answer the question, you know what is the highest acceptable false positive rate for a SOC team? Not over 80%. So basically 80%. Should our SOC role work together to key metrics? Yeah, obviously. Task number 5, practice scenario. While metric tracking is usually the SOC manager's job, a technical person is always required to propose improvements or highlight the issues. As a SOC Level 1 analyst, you are the first to notice excessive alert numbers or a high false positive rate, so make sure you know how to communicate the issue and what to do to fix it. For this lab, imagine yourself as a SOC manager receiving different complaints related to the SOC team. Open the attached site by clicking alright and then answer the task questions. 3 scenarios. You can see them. Scenario 1, unhappy customer, delay alert and entire analysts. And here we see problematic metric, improvement task and assign task 2. Dear SOC manager, our biggest customer, Open Door Incorporated, was dissatisfied with how we handle breaches. When their CFO email and Entra ID accounts were breached, it took us almost 6 hours to kick out the hacker from the mailbox. And threat actors had enough time to dump all emails and leak them on darknet. Looking at the report, looks like we had a critical alert and spent 5 hours trying to properly reset the victim's Entra ID, password and multi-factor authentication. How it could happen? And what would be your actions? Time to respond was too high, too much time spent to contain the attack. Time to acknowledge was too high, analyst started the triage too late, assigned the development task to the SOC engineer responsible for the notification system to immediately call L1 after each critical. Time to respond was too high, too much time spent to the contained attack, assignment to resource workbook creation task to level 2 that handled the incident. Create a workbook displaying credential rotation steps and present it to the team. Improvement task. Create a workbook and then assign the task to that handled the incident. Okay, this is the first flag. Hey, thanks to the SOC demo for our top management. They loved your ransomware simulation and were shocked at how your team managed to stop the attack in 40 minutes. However, for the first 20 minutes, everyone was just looking at the screen, waiting for some alerts to appear. It would be nice to somehow reduce the huge delay. What do you think? Time, 20 minutes.
As always, Ryan Sickler on all your social media, ryansickler.com. We'll talk to you all next.
Tune the SIEM and assign the dedicated schedule review of the dedicated SOC engineer. Okay. The third one. Dear SOC manager, on behalf of all L1 analysts, I want to raise an issue that may require your help. On average, during an 8-hour shift, our L1 analysts close 760 alerts, 95% of which is system noise from our IT team. or automation scripts. It's impossible to perform a vigilant triage with such a high load. And analysts are starting to get exhausted. Moreover, as the company grows, we receive more and more alerts. Can you help us with it, please? Okay, with the team to implement the false positive remediation process. Probably this one is the improvement. I'll place it here. Mean time to acknowledge is the main issue here. Change the triage rules to triage only critical alerts and ignore low severity ones. Assign the task to SOC engineers to exclude the system and IT noise from the rules. All right. Mean time to acknowledge is the main issue here. Change the triage rules to triage only critical. No, false positive rate is the core of the problem. That's the core of the problem. 95%. Schedule a call with the team to implement false positive remediation process and then assign to the SOC, right? Assign to task to L1 analyst to control. No. Wait. Implementation, the proposed changes, and assign the SOC to exclude the system and IT noise from the rules. I would say this. Perfect. And we have task number 6, the conclusion. Well done completing the room and learning about SOC metrics. Throughout the task, we explored core internal metrics like false positives or threat detection rate and key performance metrics, MTTD, MTTA, and MTTR, often shared with other parties as part of an SLA. Also, we explored ways to track and improve the metrics, which you should definitely try on your SOC analyst job. Answer to question below. Well done on completing the room.